what's poppin', y'all? I know we've all heard the infamous Get Up Rock clip from Meek Mill. Play that for you guys right now.
Wait, get up! Get up! You got this shit!
Get up!
Get out the way!
You're gonna knock Rock out. Get up, Rock. Get up! Situate him. Hey, Rock, kill him, Rock. Kill him.
But Megan Thee Stallion, we need Megan Thee Stallion to be told to shut up by Meek Mill, because every single move she's made since Tory has gotten locked up has progressively made her look worse and worse, and she's dragging this thing she's dragging it beyond the elastic. It's almost like when you have a rubber band and you're pulling, and it's an elastic, and then it pops, slaps you with the rubber, and now you're in pain. That's what Megan Thee Stallion is getting. She's exhausted it, and now it's slapped her, and for some reason, it hasn't slapped some sense into her. So Megan Thee Stallion, off rip, let's start off with when she lied to Gayle King. So she did an interview with Gayle King when the whole Tory case was going on in the lead up to that. And then in the new documentary that she dropped earlier last year, well, towards the end of last year, but I wanted to say earlier. I don't want to confuse you guys. So Gayle King asked her if she had an intimate relationship with Tory Lanez. And then she said, no, I didn't. And then people were saying, oh, no, she's lying. Why would she lie? Because keep in mind, a lot of this was about truth. Oh, is Megan Thee Stallion trustworthy? So why would she lie about something that was so easy to prove? Well, she reveals that she did lie, and then she felt that it was irrelevant to the conversation. And the quote is, yes, B-I-T-C-H, I lied to Gayle King, B. First of all, not the New York B, the other B, the word. First of all, I ain't know that B was even finna ask me about that. I thought we was gonna talk about this shooting. Well, you don't think that's... It's as if, for example, when a murder happens, the first suspect is usually the wife or husband, the spouse. So in this case, of course, they're not married, but they're going to ask her. It makes sense if they ask her if they were involved at all, because what would take things to this level? And Gayle King, of course, he's going to ask that question, especially if there were rumors going on. So she maybe just wanted to dispel those rumors. And then she says, why is you asking me about effing Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I effed him like once, maybe twice on a drunken night. Okay, now... First, she goes from lying and saying something never happened to, well, you know, it was probably when I was drunk once or twice. Meanwhile, we're getting people telling us that she booked private jets behind people's backs to go see him. Yeah, maybe once or twice on a drunken night. I didn't know people. I heard of people drunk dialing. I heard of people drunk, and I heard of people sleepwalking. I don't know if drunk involves that, Joe Budden in this case. But I have not heard of people drunk booking private jets to another side of the country. And he says, you kept catching me out of my effing mind. And it's just, what the hell? And that's partially because Tory Lanez, his team, was citing the original Gayle King interview in his upcoming appeal. So it says, includes previous false statements made by Megan. I think this was very important. Her lying was terrible. I think the lie benefited her zero. If she said that she was sleeping with him, people would have felt even more sympathy for it. And then Gayle King actually responds with grace on Instagram and says, hey, I'm just sitting here minding my own business. People are reaching out to me saying, hey, Gayle, Megan Thee Stallion just called you a B-I-T-C-H. I know you're expecting to, maybe you're thinking I have something negative to say. I do not. I have nothing but great, great love and respect for Megan Thee Stallion. Maybe Megan should learn to have some grace like this woman and some respect. I'm moving forward. Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, he gets sentenced. And then what does Megan Thee Stallion try to do? She's trying to get a restraining order against him. And then she gets granted a 5-year restraining order, which Tory Lanez is going to be out after 5 years. So this is, well, he's set to get out. We don't know what will go on with the appeal. But Megan Cuniff, she reports on this, and she says, Megan Thee Stallion testified via video a few minutes ago in the restraining order hearing for Tory Lanez. She said she fears what could happen when he's released from prison. I feel like maybe he'll shoot me again, and maybe this time I won't make it. We are on a break while Judge Bloom decides what to do. He definitely sounds like he's going to issue the restraining order against Lanez that Megan wants. seems to the court that there's ample evidence of harassing conduct dating back to at least July of 2020. Lanez isn't eligible for parole until 2029. The restraining order Judge Bloom is issuing will be in effect for 5 years through January 9th, 2030. The court does believe that the facts in this matter show both unlawful violence, a threat of violence, and a willful course of conduct that seriously harasses the petitioner and serves no legitimate purpose. I'm signing the order at this time. The thing with this is, man, and I'm going to give an explanation because a lot of people are wondering why I do this. I genuinely believe that the entire marketing play for Megan Thee Stallion for nearly 5 years until Tory got sentenced was, I'm the victim of this Tory Lanez case. So from 2020 onward, all of the marketing was done for that, and she won Grammys off of it, and her albums did well off of it, and her singles did well off of it. And once that ended, when have you heard people talk about Megan Thee Stallion's music? When have you heard people talk about Megan Thee Stallion at all if it wasn't the documentary? And the only reason that the people talked about the documentary is because of that clip where she lied to Gayle King about the Tory Lanez situation. So this all attaches to Tory Lanez. And then now, this restraining order, when he can't do anything to her for 5 years. Maybe if she wanted, I don't know, a 25-year restraining order, is that even a thing? No. And I'm not here to say, like some people will say, man, you think the first thing he's going to do is come outside and go hunting for you after he just lost his freedom? To be honest, I don't know. If you went through what she went through and we believe everything as it happened and as she deems it, then yeah, maybe she's in fear for her life, right? It's possible. So I don't even think that's a point that we need to address. But now, right? So nobody's talking about her album. Who? Megan, right? That 2024 album. 2024, Tory was already locked up. And this is the thing. She's not dropping good enough music for us to care. That's really it. And she keeps trying to attach herself to this because I guess that's the only way for her to get... Keep in mind, Megan Thee Stallion has a solid deal. I think she's got a distribution deal now. And this is the thing, too. She's with Rock Nation. They're trying to gas her up. If we look at Tory Lanez music, right? Let's just go to the most recent song that Megan dropped. This is going to be fun. Now, she had that song with Glorilla that was doing well, but Glorilla's popping. What was the song that Megan by herself dropped? This is going to be so good. Dude, she hasn't dropped a single. Okay, Mamushi, right? Nah, this was like a little bit of a duo project that was dropped in August. I'm actually going through this in real time. I can't even find one, dog. Boa. That got 55.6 million. Who's listening to this track? That's the thing. So these numbers, Tory Lanez is more talked about for his music with zero backing, zero promotion than she's being talked about for music specifically. But Tory Lanez is dropping fire, flame. If anybody's going on a quote-unquote Lil Wayne run that they were trying to ascribe to Lil Baby years ago, it's Tory Lanez. This guy's dropping fire music consistently, locked up. And who knows how much good music he's got. Honestly, I didn't really want him to release that much music because I'm like, yo, if Tory's got this much heat, yo, sit on that. Wait till you come out and, just let the stuff stream. But I guess because the albums that he's dropped in the past couple of years, man, I'm streaming those. I don't stop streaming those. People I know, they don't stop streaming those. So they're just going to keep getting plays. But I guess he's just got so much heat and he's so confident that he just keeps dropping. I think either Megan is being advised to continue this, even though it's to the detriment of her career and public perception, I would say PR, not necessarily career because she's such a big brand. But I think even the girls that were supporting her are looking at her like, hey, can you release some great music for us? Because the guy's in jail. What more do you want? We got the outcome that you wanted. But her brand is just so attached to this. And I don't know if she can continue on her own. Because how do you remember? What can you remember about Megan Thee Stallion pre-Tory Lanez? Obviously, I remember Hot Girl Summer. That was popping. But she was only lit for maybe a year and a half. And that's not to take anything away from her. It's that the majority of her career, let's say she's had a 6-year career right now. 5 of those years were involving Tory Lanez. And now that and 1 year, maybe a little bit slightly more, was just her on her own. And that was in the beginning. So if the bulk of your career, let's say 80% or more, is this conflict and you taking the victim role and having to play that everywhere, now that this is over, you don't want it to be over. You want this to go on as long as possible so you can stay the victim and people could, they're not going to pity listen to your music, that's for sure. They may give her pity awards. But Megan Thee Stallion's not getting no awards this year for whatever she did in 2024, which is what did she do in 2024? She had that back and forth. This is why, these number ones are something else. Because Megan catches a number one and then we haven't heard from her since in the beef with Nicki Minaj. And this is where Drake might have had to speak up because maybe they did to Nicki what he's claiming they did for Kendrick, or they did for Megan what he's claiming they did for Kendrick, where they juiced her song against Nicki Minaj the way that Drake says they juiced Not Like Us in comparison to Family Matters. So maybe that's a possibility. But Megan Thee Stallion, she just needs to, number one, she needs to drop more music. We need to hear more from her, and we need to see her being likable. Like, she needs to interact with people. She needs to do some interviews, and she needs to, after this restraining order, the best thing she could do is say, hey, I'm past the whole Tory Lanez thing. I went through what I went through. I'm focused on my music, and I want to deliver for my fans. I want to drop these, like a Tina Snow mixtape, something like that. Just to get back to what people are there for. Like her fans, despite them supporting you and obviously wanting you to get justice for whatever happened to you, they are there for the product. They are there for the music. They are there for Tina Snow, Megan Thee Stallion, the hot girl. And you're really not giving them that like you once were. And there's these other girls that are just popping up that are not taking her spot, I would say, because Megan Thee Stallion is still up there. But when you're talking about the conversation of girls in hip-hop, last year, I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion's name was even coming up in the discussion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.